And as soon as this automated process is changed, also their decision-making changes. And then the way we make our daily decisions are perceived by us by the best way. However, we may be 100, even though we are 100% sure about what we do, but reality sometimes proves us wrong. So the question is, what is the very basics and the origins of our brain functions? If we look at this flower pot, so as soon as we are born, we inherit some genetic information. So this is what is inside the soil. And in the following stages, of course, it's very important how do we develop while still in the womb. And all the experiences of our mother also leave certain tracks in our perception, in our brains, and what decisions we will make in our future life. So this is actually also about how we transfer our experiences to our children. Therefore, sometimes it takes many generations to change things. And quite often it is the children who inspire their parents to change something. If we go further, we should talk about information. The information we receive and how we deal with this information in our lives. Because all the information that falls within our subconsciousness is more or less perceived as something true. So if we accept that the information that the earth is flat, then sooner or later subconsciously we will perceive it as true. And just like this seed, our brain has the information that it has to grow into a large, powerful tree. And our brain also believes that it should become an organ that works as efficiently as possible. But interestingly enough, the brain, just like a seed, is on its way to reaching this high efficiency, disregarding the actual conditions in which we live. So this is the fulfillment towards which we aim our activities, and the ultimate state of our brain functioning. And of course many factors may influence how we reach this state. Of course, there are also certain limitations or obstacles when we talk about the brain as well as the seed. We may have internal factors, everything that is related to our biochemistry or the functioning of any of our organs, such as endocrine system or blood vessels, etc. So what I'm trying to say is that the brain cannot be looked upon separately from the context, the organism as a whole. We also may have external obstacles. It is the environment that also leaves impact on all these processes. And of course, this environment can be supportive, it can be harmful. But another important factor that I would like to emphasize is that not always, or in other words, sometimes we say that we should change the environment and then we will have a better life. But sometimes, actually, we should change, implement changes at the brain functioning level. Because if we do so, then brain will be able to accept and make the decisions that are better and of higher quality, thus enabling the brain to reach this higher state of functioning, because the brain knows where they are headed and how all these processes are carried out. So this is what I have observed throughout my research activities. As soon as the brain functioning changes and approaches this higher state or optimum state, the brain tries to acknowledge that they are enabled to make more appropriate decisions. And a human may, for example, take a decision, but this decision actually is not appropriate for him or her. and the brain tries to somehow balance these needs, which means that there is a need for constant development and also discipline in order to reach this higher state. And when we talk about the changes of our habits, probably we should make such changes less, but on regular basis. And what I also like is this slogan about recycle yourself. I mean the human, environment and human. And as we go further, here we can see how the new possibilities can be realized. So we see new opportunities only after we have changed ourselves. And as I already said, everything is possible as long as you are on the move. Thank you very much. Do we have some questions that you would like to pose already? However, taking into account the topic of the following speaker, who is from the UK, then probably the questions should be asked to the both speakers, because they are both talk about some related topics.